Thank you, Hinderman. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the commentary desk, where we will be making our way into game number 2 in a best-of-5 between AFK and Team SoloMid. AFK taking game number 1, stopping the streak of losses dead in their tracks. Now, well, it's 1 for 6 out of 7 games, but it's a start.
So last night, AFK tweeted out, "We haven't put the broom away yet." They're looking for the sweep, right? I mean, that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to just crush all opponents, make sure that in Season 2, everybody knows that they're the team to beat. And so far, it's looking like it.
Yeah, and one thing that AFK has improved immensely on is their picks and bans, right? Most of us would be like, wow, they gave up Sylvanas, how could they? But they go in with a strategy, level 1 invade the Sylvanas, keep him down, and totally take away what makes Sylvanas so strong.
Allied was a non-factor in that game. I think was a big part of what went wrong
Snoopy
for AFK. That's right. I mean, like Snoopy was held out a little bit, but Allied just didn't have the impact that they needed from the Xbalanque. I mean, they had this whole game plan set up, and that's to the credit of the Bologna and the Guan Yu for getting in his face, limiting the options for the Mage and the Hunter. They're really going to be the damage carries later in the game.
So what's Lass's commentary if the Hunters didn't carry?
Hunters are not OP.
That's a good question as we move into the picks and bans. It's AFK versus TSM. This time, AFK in the first pick position, and it's 1-0 in their favor. They need 3 games to seal this one in. It's going to be Hunbots and Cirquet as their bans.
Damn.
Respecting Gars, daring him to play Thor again. Sylvanas, Bologna, banned out by TSM. AFK with the first pick.
You know, we listened in on the comms, and one of the first things that we heard is maybe we should just ban Bologna, right? I mean, and that's the strategy now, is don't let Weekend do that again, because hot damn.
Right. And it's interesting to note that even though Gars didn't play Hunbots in his first series in 5 games, AFK just respects him so much, and they know that Gars still loves that pick.
Yeah, it's really. I'm going to read your teammate Anatoly on Twitter here. Cyclone Spin is legit the best player in Smite. Never played Guan Yu in scrims against us, and just out Warriors Divios casually.
Yeah, Zatman just said he's never played. He's never played that against us.
Not once.
Yeah.
I guarantee that he goes. I don't know. I'm gonna play Guan.
He's just like watched it work for Badger and was like, oh right, that god works. Me too. Who knows? It's Athena first pick for AFK.
I think this makes sense. I mean, what Incon just did should have. Oh, Boost just picked Isis.
He always says he does not like Isis, too.
I know, and the over Poseidon. I mean, do they really think it was that good from Kiki, or do they really not think Kiki's second best is very good?
Well, they banned Zhang last time.
Yeah,
they let him pick the Isis.
They wanted the Isis.
They've 180. They picked Geb. Yeah, they gave. Bakasura and Thor.
Yeah, where have these guys been?
God help you, TSM, if you mess this early game up, because this one could be real quick.
Yeah, I think that is probably the god you least want Cyclones to have.
And in scrims, we always ban Bakasura because we know what he can do with that god. He's crazy talented with that god.
Well, this is what's really curious as well, is that out of the first pick position, right, usually you'll see them ban something like a Bakasura and then ban a targeted ban as the second ban out of the first pick position, right, and force the duo, or sorry, the second ban position to ban 2 potent gods, right, the quote-unquote OPs. And here they banned out Hunbot Cirquet, let the Bakasura open, and they also get it, does AFK.
Well, they banned the Zhang as kind of expected.
Late, boys.
Kali.
Yikes.
I mean, like, we know that Gars can do this. Gars was one of the people that did this the best.
Please ban Aphrodite.
I mean, yeah, you don't want Afro Kali on the same team, but I mean,
that you want
who's
Divios.
playing?
Yeah.
Divios doesn't really have an Aphrodite.
Ooh, Hades, that's a good ban because you can see they're already setting up for a big team fight there between the Isis Geb.
And actually, Hades does very well against Bakasura, one of the few counter picks, at least in the early game for the lane control.
Break that one down for me.
It's the worst.
Well, what he does is basically Hades just auto-attacks Bakasura, groups up the minions, uses his fear to put blight on them, clear them, and any kind of poke that Bakasura does will get healed easily by Hades.
And then Hades can just walk into the tower line, put in 6 or 7 shots at the tower, and you do that 7 or 8 times, and the tower's gone.
It's an Anhur drafted on the back of Kali, Geb, Isis for Team SoloMid. The 2 final picks for their squad remaining for AFK. They need their Hunter,
Xbalanque,
and they need their solo laner. I would like to see, well, mages in the solo lane, pretty difficult to pull off here.
But mid lane.
It's their, oh, that's right, it'll be the mid lane, it'll be Bakasura, right. I was actually going to say, I would love to see a Ra in this team composition. Lotus Crown, going to be great versus this Kali core.
I mean, Bakasura has a little bit of healing. You'll get some from Xbalanque as well with the Dev's Gloves, but they don't have a static healer. I mean, they relied on Guan Yu. Now they have Ra. So long as Kiki can make it out of the early game and do what he did last time, he's good. This is great. Right,
and one thing I want to just get out there for everyone who doesn't know about or is confused about the Kali pick, I think they picked the Kali pick to match up late game with the Bakasura, right? Bakasura, he's known for that 6-second burst with his True Blades and his ultimate. However, Kali can just use her ultimate and survive for 5 extra seconds and deal crazy amounts of damage.
One thing we maybe shouldn't be ruling out is Kali as the solo laner.
True.
That's but it is Divios. Divios generally tends to favor the more tanky.
Janus solo.
That's Janus in the solo lane.
Is it? Or is it the patented Cuba Fred Janus jungle that lost me my game versus Brandon in the spring fling?
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Wasn't Twiggy throwing boulders over the wall and taking your red buff.
No, that was the moral loss. That's
I mean, we did see Janus in the in the matchup between Lass and me when we picked our teammates and all that, and I had Divios play Janus because he kind of botted me one time at a LAN with that god, and maybe he found his confidence.
That's actually one of my major casting highlights. Yelling shotgun at the top of my lungs. Divios chasing major amount of kills. I mean, when Divios first broke into the competitive scene, it was his Janus that got him there.
Exactly.
So Janus versus Bakasura. Like, what's the? I mean, we expect it to be that, of course. There's no well.
Oh yeah.
No telling.
If he gets caught, I mean, Janus would die instantaneously.
Expect AFK to invade. They have to, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Main
fair
solo
enough.
lane. You got Bakasura and Thor, one of the two most potent gods in the early game for jungle control.
Yeah. Of any game to pick a Janus of the solo laner, when you're going into a high damage output cripple style god like Bakasura, it's gonna prevent your portals, and there's a Thor in the jungle as well. It's like the worst possible setup. I mean, what's worse?
Yeah, I mean, Divios has proven that he knows what he's doing, so maybe he has some kind of trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, Cyclone Spin has also proven that he knows what Divios is doing as well as what he's going to do to stop that thing. So we'll see. We'll see here. I mean, it's we're going to pop off the tops on this one and get into it and see what's going to go down as these boys are fighting for that lovely trophy there, their share of the 60 G's prize pool. And, of course, a trip to the wonderful country of Brazil to go off against South American teams, guys. But let's introduce your squads in game number 2 with a 1-game advantage. With the blue trunks fighting on the bottom side of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI, it's AFK Gaming. Cyclone Spin will be your heavy hammer Bakasura solo. Weekend in the jungle as Thor. Kiki, so cheeky as Ra in the mid lane. Incontinentia will be your support, with Allied as the hunter in the duo as Xbalanque. Their opponents today are Team SoloMid, wearing the red trunks, down 1-0. Top side of the minimap, right side of your spectator UI. Divios will be the solo lane Janus, the guards in the jungle as the hyper carry Kali, Boosh mid lane as Isis, Ionic in the support role as Geb, and that leaves Snoopy to carry them as Anhur.
Look at them salty wards on the left side. No more nonsense, says T. Or I'm sorry, no, those are AFK wards. They're blue this time. What are they afraid of? They have Bakasura. They have nothing to fear. And in fact, it looks like AFK knows this as Garz is rotating around. He is hunting around for crazy stuff. And what's this guy doing?
Soloing his what?
I think they just completely given up on their buff control. They probably
they
saw
abandoned,
Bakasura
right?
had heavy hammer. There's no way the Janus can get away from a Bakasura Thor with heavy hammer.
So
I mean,
now
yeah, he'll just die.
He's going to try to position himself to gain lane control here while Janus, as the blue buff gets cleared out by Weekend. And Cyclone, so decent.
So wait, what
trade.
happened with Kiki? Why is the red buff still there?
Because they invaded left side red buff.
Oh, I see.
Kali farmed left lane buffs.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So it's a pocket strat here from TSM, at least a pocket opening, as they've really sprung Kali. But she's only level 1 now, forced across the mid lane, and actually has mistimed this one. It's going to cut the wave a little bit, and Ra's going to get some sight of her now as she makes her way to the right side. She's leeching.
This was just messy. That was just the messiest opening I think we've seen in a very long time. Neither team really having complete control over what they wanted, but AFK definitely got the better of that one, scattering TSM around the map in the most awkward positions. But now Garz and Boosh are going to make an attempt here, and it looks clean. I don't see this stopping.
Yeah, here comes Ionic and Snoopy. That's going to be the 4-man. No way they can contest this. Ra doesn't even have a wave to farm.
What they saw is that they have the Anhur in the duo lane, and they have the weak solo lane. So what they're trying to do is just focus on the duo lane, where their strengths are, and try to exploit it as much as possible as they take the red buff.
Yeah, you talked about that a little bit yesterday as kind of one of the strategies that Eager will try to employ. Can you elaborate a little bit on exactly what's going on here?
Sure. Sometimes you have a late game hyper carry in the duo lane. Then how to offset that is you want to have a strong solo lane. So we'll focus on the solo lane side, let the hyper carry farm and do his thing, and that's what TSM's doing here. That
was bold. Weekend taking some damage there, moves up, and Boost just goes right for it, but the speed buff is still available. That one's going to be split out quite cleanly. Weekend throwing out the hand of the gods there to make sure this is as quick as possible. Will Kiki throw the heal down for the back cams? No, they're going to let that one go for now. Okay.
Ionic getting chipped away by Allied. Snoopy taking a few pot shots as well in this dual lane. But a level advantage in favor of the Geb on her, splitting those early camps. Pulling ahead a bit. That means it's going to be the level 5 proc first by Snoopy. Maybe a kill setup for Allied here, but Xbalanque is fairly tricky to lock down.
So we're about 2 minutes in, no kills just yet, despite a lot of invasions, a lot of cross-lane pushes. Both players, or rather both teams playing very safely. Damage getting sent out on all sides. Kiki trying to play real safe, throwing the ult out just to clear the wave. And realistically, for me, what it comes down to is I can't believe that Cyclone Spin hasn't killed this Janus yet, given the level differential.
Yeah, let's check it over here. I mean, you can see Divios, he's playing underneath his tower.
And 2 levels behind.
300 gold behind, too. As you can see, Cyclone Spin is forcing all the creeps to Janus' tower.
Oh, he's going for mid camps.
Well, he just has that luxury. Massive advantage.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to guarantee rights, and then left side, they're going to fight for it. Incon's there. Now, Shield Wall is going to need both hits for him to handle the gods. Weaken's going up as well.
Here comes Weaken. He has a decent angle, but they are fairly split. Going to find the back line, but he's not going to hit Boosh actually off the mark there. And this is maybe one of the weaknesses of Weaken himself there. But they do have a Cyclone Spin to clean it up. But Weaken, not a fantastic Thor player that we've seen so far. Tawny Yannick back in. This could lead to a Gold Fury if you're able to kill this Geb. No!
Well,
through the wall from Janus. But the last hit, no, still not enough. And Yannick will be in range to soak up the right side camps as well. Ultimately a win for the Geb.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Ionic not only gets out of that by the skin of his teeth, but he gets the mid camps.
Yeah, that's the dream.
The presence of mind of Gars to stick around and use his half a second stun basically at level 1 to get Geb out was impressive.
Yeah, it's a second. It's a
second. Yeah,
Don't hate on my collie, man. Let her live. Gars level 6 too, somehow ahead of Weaken after losing almost his entire jungle on the top side. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Gars is really known for his farm. He's extremely potent at that.
Yeah, he's a great farmer.
There is a 300 gold difference, given the fact that Weaken did find the kill for the first blood. With that, do you think Cyclone would have been better off getting just the mid camps instead of rotating over? Do you think the regurgitate was necessary?
I mean, he got 1 kill. It really just kind of got out shenanigans for a second kill, right? The Geb likely would go down in any normal situation. It could have been a double kill for the Bakasura, definitely worth it. It's like even for the 1, probably still. Considering the advantage that he had over Divios, it allowed him, he bought himself that opportunity, and he didn't capitalize maybe as much as he would have wanted.
This is so greedy. This is just blatant greed. Cyclone doesn't even have any...
He ulted here.
He doesn't even have any health left, or mono left. He can't fight this. Weaken's going to go up. Cyclone's getting very low, and yeah, will be cleaned up. I mean, that one was pretty textbook. Where are we going to find Weaken? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he shinged out. He shinged out.
What was that?
He shinged out.
He shinged out?
You never heard that one?
No.
When in doubt, shing out?
It seems like TSM were prepared for this, actually. Even Snoopy rotated for that speed buff.
That's a free Gold Fury if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't mess up the damage here and they hit everything and properly, they need to pull this thing. I don't know if it was even worth it for them to do that. I mean, no, they have more than enough time. Yeah, AFK is going to drop their lead here big time.
There's also no ultimates on the side of AFK up. It's really unlikely they win this fight. Even if they somehow forced one, right, without any ultimates, it's pretty unlikely that they're able to capitalize.
Well, it's a small experience difference. It's a rather large gold difference, and realistically, as we get to the end game, Bakasura is strong, but Janus has a different level of strength, right? Being able to, like Bart called it, shenanigans his team around, making sure that they're not going to be too pressured. But remember, that cripple from the regurgitate can stop portal usage.
Right, and one thing we haven't seen is the setup for Kiki's ultimate. Kiki is 0 for 2 right now with his raw snipes, and it seems like they're not communicating Thor stuns and other kinds of hard CC to set up Kiki's ult.
Maybe not even communication, but he doesn't have that same lobster level of, I trust my team is going to stun before they even call it, and I'm just going to preemptively shoot this thing. Right? Because that's what Lobster does, and that's why his ratio is so high. He is absolutely guaranteeing every shot because he knows his team is going to not only follow up, but initiate properly. And right now, it doesn't seem like Kiki has that same level of, just that same presence of mind.
Kiki definitely a strong candidate for the most improved North American player season over season this year. I mean, he's really been in a good spot. Geb actually moving forward. He's going to ult onto 1. Kiki does find a big snipe actually that time onto Boosh. We going to be able to follow that one up, but can they secure the kill? They will indeed. Still spinning the win, but Desert Fury cleaning up onto Weaken. Gars getting credit for that one, though, and that's great news for their collie. Here comes Divios, though, and Cyclone Spin as they move in. The Unstable Vortex already used Cyclone Spin on that Baka. Not going to close the distance, and Gars going to make it out of this one alive. Allied, perfectly happy to continue his farm.
Now, one thing I do want to point out is that Bakasura has gone into Warrior Tabby, not Ninja Tabby. Now, at first glance, this seems like a misplay, but it is absolutely not. He's going to be looking for Oboe, Iqbal, Executioner, a lot of attack speed items. And when you couple in the fact that he's going to get 30% attack speed from his passive as well, he's actually going to look at overcapping with Ninja Tabby. So he's looking for burst damage at this stage of the game.
All right, and also one thing I would like to note is how important it is for Xbalanque to finally get that first kill on his passive. Right, after you get the first kill, you kind of feel more powerful and you play more confidently.
Yeah, but is that 5 damage going to warrant the 400 gold deficit that Snoopy has right now because of that Gold Fury?
just it gets him closer to the late game form.
Oh, sure, of course. But I mean, I think for now, Snoopy's going to have control.
Yeah.
Snoopy has been, it seems like, kind of outplaying Allied so far. Allied didn't rotate at all in the fight that really lost them the lead.
Yeah, relying on the global presence perhaps a little bit too much, not rotating in a timely manner. It's going to lead to that small disadvantage, losing out on an assist as well as the Gold Fury, as you mentioned. But we are, approaching the 8-minute mark. It's a fairly close game, about 1,000 gold in the favor of TSM, mostly on the back of that Gold Fury there. Cyclone spin, well, we've seen a rotation. We've seen him pick up an assist, but no real impact on the game just yet. Divios' Janus, 2 assists to his credit, and he saved teammates a few times. So for the moment, at least, the question of how effective is this going to be, the answer, it's fairly effective for Divios.
So Blink goes on cooldown there.
What the hell was that ultimate he just shot?
And then the Spirit Gun comes out as well. They were looking to, it looks like there was a hard call of go, 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 and then someone just put the brakes on.
Yeah, and then no.
Now, remember, guys, if Bart, I think as Bart talked about it yesterday, Janus cannot portal himself through the wall in Cripple, but he can portal himself through the floor, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a banish, not a teleport or whatever you want to call it.
Right. I think that's right. Yeah, we'll have to see. I assume that would be your go-to if Bakasura ults you as a Janus, is you're going to either throw that ultimate and go through the more likely option or try to drop through the world.
All right, so it's 2-3 still. We're here almost about 10 minutes. Gold Fury still has about 2 minutes left before she comes up. And with that, it looks like TSM is playing this one quietly. They know they have a small lead. They know they have these hyper carries, right? With, maybe not Anhur as much as Xbalanque, but definitely Kali over Thor, right? So they want to try to get to the end game quietly. Kind of let it creep up on AFK. It's going to be all of a sudden, oh my God, Kali's online. In that late game, I mean, it's a cool comp that they've put together here. It's the Isis plus the Janus. So Janus is really a specialist at taking away 60% of someone's health when they really aren't expecting it. Right. Coming through a wall, hitting him with an unstable vortex. Hold that thought, those allies in a lot of trouble. This should be an easy kill, but Snoopy electing actually not to throw any abilities there. Feels like he could have just thrown out an Impale. Boosh in the back line. Spear Ball not going to hit. Where's the wing? Silence is going to be good there, and yeah, Allied's going to get cleaned up. Oh, wow. Wow, Yanni found Incon there in the back as well. No, Snoopy the one doing the damage. Sure, but I mean, how did that even happen? I guess rotating, trying to come in through the backside there and pick it up. But as I was talking about, it's that Janus is really great at taking away 60% of someone's HP. Boosh, Isis, a very burst-oriented character as well. And then they have the Kali to match with it. Look at Weekend right now. He's like, hey, thank you for helping me do this speed buff. Like, you are a great human being.
Yeah, that is such great presence of mind by Weekend to know that Kali backed and Janus was trying to do it himself. Surprised to see the 3 members on the left side for TSM backing with the Gold Fury coming back up right about now. Maybe had an opportunity to sneak that one away, but they're gonna fall back, and now the fight's gonna be on here as the second map objective is online. The first one did go to the side of TSM. AFK maybe looking to take this one back in their direction. Cyclone already beginning some kind of rotation into the jungle, perhaps looking just to steal away the blue buff. Yeah, that's what he's gonna go for, and he's got it. But he might be in trouble. Gonna get closed in on, but he's gonna leap over. Gars can follow this up with the leap of his own. Love the threshold. Yeah, bonus MS coming out of the Janus there, but it's gonna be Divios who's gonna push back Cyclone spin and clear this wave. Kali just wants to quietly farm up another damage item before really forced into any hard engagements. For everyone out there who thought MS meant Mortal Strike when he said that, I'm with you guys. Well, you can see TSM has started up the Gold Fury here. Snoopy whittling away at it. Let's see how AFK is going to react to this one with a curse voice elicited. Take it away.
50, 50, 50, 50, 50. No. Get it.
Rotate now.
Nice.
Can we fight now? I'm here. We can fight.
They got it. What's up?
This is smart.
They're going
in red.
Come on, man. If Anhur's going for 20. Oh, they're going to left.
I'm dead. They all came here.
Yeah, we called.
I'm looking at
No, if you went through, I couldn't get out.
Yeah, should cut up mid possibly. No eyes on left right now. 2 left. Janus backing. 2 in mid. Kali and on. Okay, Kali could have gone mid. Janus back.
Here.
Geb and Anhur are still.
Kali's here. So I don't get out.
Ice is gonna be there.
My ultimate is up. They're gonna try to push left, but
we're good. Ice is
alright.
Ice is left.
I can't get over there, guys.
Jonathan 2.
Incon in a lot of trouble here as we make it back to the desk. Eonix can take one more tower shot and will barely live. Snoopy playing forward and finding that kill on Incontinentia. Kiki secures the kill on Abush as he attempts to retreat. Trying to recall in between the towers is Anhur for Snoopy, and looks like he will make it out in time. TSM coming up in spades there. Second Gold Fury going their way, and a few kills.
I was very surprised to see that Gold Fury be so free. I mean, they didn't even test it. I almost expected that Nua-esque, satellite ward coming out from Thor. Went up to the air, maybe see if someone's doing it, but they dropped that one just absolutely for free. The timer was off, and for me, that is the most surprising thing AFK can do, because usually Incon is like the rotation and timer master.
Right. It's actually pretty surprising because they knew exactly when TSM did it the first time, and they should have really been there. They really dropped the ball in that play.
Yeah, it goes to TSM recalling 3 members on the left side and AFK showing up a little bit too early, and then trying to fall back, and then realizing that they were at 50% when they elected to go in, and that was, well, pretty much all she wrote. As TSM swarms that tier 1 tower, gets a very valuable kill onto hi-rez, and continues to pull ahead a bit. Now up to about 3,000 gold again, as Incon's going to get launched back by that Gep rollout.
Yeah, he's going to lose his sentry there as well. So maybe not a huge win for TSM, but I mean, anytime you're taking away gold, right, from the support, that's a big deal. And you can see the difference, about 700 gold, plus we know that he just lost that ward. The big difference for me, though, is that we're going to have Geb on Blink versus Athena with Shell.
Sure. It's also a question of double Warlock Sash and a Geb shield for these mages. And can AFK actually find Janus, who's so slippery, and the Isis is a more reliable target, and get these kills?
Right. And one thing to note, though, is AFK had the lead because the Bakasura rotated and participated in these teamfights. And ever since that early game, Bakasura has not participated in any of these teamfights, and AFK has been coming up short. Yeah,
the most called Cyclone's been saying, look, we need you to have the damage. You got to go toe-to-toe with Kali in the late game. Something has to.
Well, I mean, he has the Iqbal to balance out the other Iqbal, so realistically, both of them built attack speed.
Right? Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And they're going to be the ones boxing out. The issue is that if Baka blows his ultimate, oh wow, he is getting out of there very, very quickly. Not going to gain anything out of it. No ultimates used for him. It's just that Defender of Olympus going on cooldown and him backing off, it's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, now with Athena ultimate down, TSM, they're going to make their way into the enemy jungle here and continue to control this bottom left quadrant of the map. Couple of recalls coming out as well.
Right, and one thing I like to point out is that Athena's, one of her strengths is her global presence, right? And what is TSM doing? They're completely nullifying that by taking the fight to the global god.
Right, I mean, if you're able to shut the support down and make them use the ultimate defensively, you can reinitiate afterward. If you continuously push them out of the fight, he's not going to get to a point where he's tanky enough to be a frontliner. And given the fact that they don't have that Guan Yu this time, they have Bakasura, they have no one to lead this charge.
Yeah, the initiation has to come from the Thor-Athena combination. We've seen it a couple times. We saw it work very well with Guan Yu in the last game. So they need to get that Xbalanque ultimate into that double dunk, if you will, from the Thor-Athena before TSM can react well, because the Geb shield can come out and like save one target. Janus can bail out another or the same, and then Kali, while she's getting closer and closer to that second damage item where she really comes alive.
And it's a bit funny that, the first game, both teams opted for the really tanky warrior lineup. And here in this game, they went for hyper carries and squishy lineup.
Yeah, they go a complete 180.
Yeah, a complete
and
180
I really, if you're going to pick Kali, there must be one of two characters on the team. You either need Aphrodite or you need Geb. And I love the fact that they picked the Geb early on to make sure that, hey, we're going to show you our hands here. That way you have to pick something different. You have to pick something maybe outside your comfort zone, or you can go major comfort zone and we can counterpick in the second phase. And it seems that's what they've done. The Janus has really changed the dynamic, because with Cyclone Spin, the one thing you note is that he is one of the best, has the best rotations from the solo lane in the world. That's what really makes him the better player. But when you have a global presence ult that allows him to get to mid lane instantaneously, you can out-rotate Baka.
Where has Weekend been? Right? Like, there's been no pressure on the Divios. And it just...
He's farming, Bart!
He finally did it!
He's level 13!
But
he's
realistically,
ahead of
right? I mean, there's been no pressure onto the Janus, and if Janus comes back and has a big impact in this game, that's the thing you have to look at and say, why did they not pressure that solo lane a little bit more with their semi-global presence? I mean, as we were talking about in the pregame, it's about as bad as it gets. Yeah, Gold Fury, it's going down quickly.
They're going to get this for free again.
And Kali actually manages to zone the team out there somehow.
Has it been 5 minutes?
Time flies so fast, Brandon.
I mean, for real, like, I didn't realize it was that long. And look at this little staircase they're building. Like, every 5 minutes, we are taking something. And that's what they've done, right? Their entire lead is 4,700 gold. That's 3 Gold Furies and 2 mid camps.
Right, and on the point of the Janus pick, I agree with you. I would love to have seen Weekend really try to snowball the Bakasura, really punish the Janus pick, get the tower at least. But what he's doing is he's focusing on his weak side, the Xbalanque Athena side, where he does not have the strength over the Anhur Geb.
It's really more like he's bailing them out more than he is looking to make plays over there versus turning the screws on the Janus.
Right.
Perhaps this is what this is the answer to Cyclone, is just be weird. right there. Yeah. He portaled into that lane. Why didn't Cyclone immediately just drop his ultimate down and go, you're dead? Right? Like, why didn't he just dive the tower? He would have done that to he would have done that to Sobek. Why wouldn't he do it to Janus?
Just the mind games. Janus, when his ultimate is up, it's just so hard to secure the kills onto him.
And Divios, you know, for what Cyclone did to out Divios is now out Cycloning Cyclone.
That's right.
I'm going to take a nap. That was challenging.
Cyclone taking some, it's not some, taking a lot of damage.
He's going to pop a sprint for that? I think this is, I mean, I could have just not.
He's getting out Cycloned. He doesn't know how to fight his opponent.
Yeah, he seems a little bit shook there. I mean, where was the threat?
The Volcania is going to have rosy cheeks, man. It's flustered right now.
Yeah. Weird. That was a weird play. I guess he just thought that there was, I mean, who was coming in there? Gars?
I mean, realistically, what was in front of him? He saw Ionic. Like,
it could have just been they called the rotation, hey, mid's missing, get out. And then he just said, oh, crap, I need to get out.
That probably makes the most sense, yeah. I mean, maybe it was just fear, right? Maybe he thought, like his teammate called her, maybe he saw the rotation possible, and he just dipped out.
I can't believe Divios is proxying a Bakasura right now.
For real. Insane. What is this? What was?
Look at the juice.
Did he just bait him like that?
Yep.
I'm going to puke. That was the sickest bait I think I've ever seen. And now Divios gets to rotate freely over. Snoopy's in trouble. Will Big D make it? Yeah, he's going to make it. Shotgun right to the back. No trouble. Divios.
Forget Divios. That was Kiki hitting a spirit ball. Or Boosh, I'm sorry, hitting a spirit ball just out of nowhere there to pick up the kill on the Allied.
And
My God.
And look at TSM now rotating back over towards right side. Incon trying to make something happen here, but Boosh and Snoopy not letting it go down. Cyclone Spin rotates over to what seems like nothing. They're going to lose mid-tier tier 1.
And we're halfway to the next Gold Fury as well. The Snowball.
Time does fly, Bart.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, Snowball this time rolling down in favor of Team SoloMid. 5,700 gold to their credit. 19 minutes, 15 seconds into this one. It's 8 kills to 3. And, well, Andinster was calling for a 3-1 for TSM after that first game victory for AFK. Have they been downloaded?
It's possible. I mean, right there, Divios just, he baited everything. Oh.
He popped his beads to go through that portal.
Yeah, I think he did. Let's see. Yeah, that's a 3-minute beads. Will Cyclone recognize and reinitiate Incon in some trouble? No, Gars.
He had Nimble Strike there, but did not have a stun. And, well, also, it's Kali. You're paper thin until you're not, all of a sudden. I mean, it's just kind of how it works.
Also, we should note that she did go into Executioner, not Chinsai. So Chinsai is probably going to be the next up on the list here. Or
can't afford the Chinsai. I mean, it just can't afford to have that very low damage period when Bakasura has his Executioner.
I would either say Magi's Blessing or...
Well, he's got beads. I'm thinking it's possibly Fatalis.
But just, yeah, either Fatalis or Magi's Blessing, I would say, for sure.
Something to help them stick to the target, absolutely.
He doesn't
for the
have to blow his beads as soon as he gets Athena taunted.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And with no sprint, you know, there's got to be some MS in here or slow or something at some point, or it's gonna be really difficult for him to carry through the late game. Witchblade was such a great item for Kali. It's no longer really available. And look, there's the balanced blade, so it looks like it's going
chin size, yeah,
towards the chin size. So it's going to be farm boys. You know, 27 minutes, 28 minutes, we'll expect to see Gars again.
It's unlikely that we're going to see the Aussie, right? Aussie granting some pen, which of course is always great in any build. But remember, Marked for Death is going to give her 10 plus 1 per level to her target. So he hasn't died yet. We don't know who the target is.
It seems like Gars is actually relying on his team a lot to set him up with those free auto attacks. Divios' portal, Boosh's stun and slow, and Ionic's CC.
You actually heard the Nimble Strike start there, but he got stunned out before. He takes a little bit of damage. Nothing coming up. Now this time, the Gold Fury's coming up in 20 seconds. AFK seems to have at least some map control here, right? They're not pushed to their back camps.
We do have a pause coming out from Snoopy. Why is it always Snoopy that's pausing the game? This kid. Dang Canadians.
It has to be something to do with Canada.
Yeah, because like Divios is adjusting his headset, the other Canadian on the squad. Oh wait, is Ionic also a Canadian?
Yes. It's largely a Canadian team.
They're Canadian boys.
And then Boosh is like Michigan, right? Or no, Maryland.
Is it? No, Boosh is from like Texas, isn't he?
That's what I thought. He told me Maryland.
Oh, I thought you said. I just believe you. That's
is he? Maybe my eternal downfall.
No, I think you're right. It is Maryland.
He sounds like he's from Texas.
He sounds like, yeah, he does.
We'll take a look at AFK Gaming now from left to right. It's Allied, Incontinentia, Kiki, So Cheeky, Weaken. And at the end, it's Cyclone Spin.
Not a lot of smiles here. Not
No.
a lot of smiles. They all look very focused, maybe even a little bit morose. Over on the other side, again, not a lot of smiles except for Divios.
Yeah, left to right, it's Divios, Gars, Boosh, Eonic, and Snoop Deezy.
I like how Snoopy's the captain. He's the only one not wearing the jacket right now.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't need to bully. And in the background, it's the finest that hi-rez has to offer. It's hi-rez Dan.
That's actually offensive.
He's the admin to the stars.
Incon looks like he's sweating out this one a little bit. They're all, it looks like they're disgusting. They're trying to spend this time wisely, not, you know. Weekend though, super, look, everyone's just super focused.
It's an intense game.
They have a hill to climb here, but they do have a Kali to worry about as well.
That's the worst. I mean, it's a time bomb. It hits 26 minutes on that clock. It doesn't matter what you've done. Like, she's coming online.
You know, and if AFK was ahead, we would be talking about, is it enough to deal with the Kali late game, right? But they're behind a little bit. So, you know, how much time do they really have left? Only maybe 10 minutes until they can afford to step back a bit.
You know, one of the big things, too, is we have casted, let's say, 4 team fights in this game so far. Not one time have we mentioned the power of Geb Shield, because it hasn't been a factor.
Right.
Which means AFK might put themselves in a position of strength and overcommit, forgetting about the Geb Shield.
Right.
And they're not looking to bait it.
Right, and honestly, one thing AFK really needs to do is catch out one of these 2 mages instantly with Bakal and take him out. Even with Geb Shield, those mages will die to that Fed Bakasura, who is allowed to have 2 active slots, by the way, because he was facing a mage. Normally, Bakasuras go Hog, but in this case, he went Heavy Hammer because he knew he can invade, he had the strength, and now he's going to go Sprint Bead.
It's double Warlocks, though, for those mages. Both of them 100% for Janus and nearly for Kiki as well on the Isis. So,
well, we're back into the game. It looks like Snoopy has allowed us to continue this one.
Thank you, Snoopy.
Thank you, Snoopy.
As the Gold Fury has spawned back in, 21 minutes, 30 seconds.
And AFK sees it this time.
AFK, yeah, they're right on top of it this time. They do not have the ward advantage, though. There is a sentry sitting there from the side of AFK. Let's listen in with TSM, though, as they set up for this Gold Fury. Double tap coming through, hitting Gars. Let's see how they're going to attempt this one.
I'm in the back, guys. Can you guys hear me?
I got my
The dream!
Nice.
None of them has sentries on them, so one of them has the back right now.
What's up? I'm gonna get a whole bunch of words now. Yeah. I got beats 3 and double words.
We can pull gold again once I'm there. And Con's just sitting looking.
Yeah. Bak is mid. I'm level 20 in the
gold for my anti-healing.
You want to right, maybe?
That's my sprint and my beads. I thought he was closer to middle. That's my bad.
Careful.
That's my sprint and reads.
I'm 20.
Immunity,
I'm level 20.
Probably didn't need to do that.
Bak is on the right side.
They don't have any sentries on them.
Careful for Baka diving you.
Push left, then toast.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Still well.
Yeah, I want to sprint, so I'm sitting pretty far back. Okay, focus.
Are they coming left yet?
How long until your beads are back up?
Like, I see.
We're still strong. It's 3 minutes.
Athena's left. Athena's left.
Wait, if we get this, these mid hard.
I'm centering up here. Yeah,
Baka's in right.
Can we fire right? Athena's left.
Yeah, we need it. Athena's gonna ult over.
I'm ulting right.
Thank you. That's a Baka ult down.
One. Alright, turn.
Nice.
You have Athena? That's Thor?
Thor hammer.
Athena, just kill Athena.
Kill Athena. I'm helping Navios.
Oh, wow, that wall almost fucked
you guys.
No, I'm good.
Nice.
I just don't go back in.
Yeah, we could pull gold and fight. With their strongest, well, okay.
Yeah, their strongest
guy is down. Not 2 of them, though.
Athena's power down too, so when Athena respawns, she won't.
Allied's pretty low. They're healing now.
That's
his hammer.
Nice.
That's his
nice.
I have ult 10 as well. I just want to.
Yeah, you can ult me back. Divios, just chill and ult me back once I get up.
Hold on, I'm
gonna jump on them, I think.
Yeah.
It's a Thor wall. He's dead.
Speeds.
Look, Allied.
Nice, Allied.
Nice. Knock up. His beads are down.
We can
go
if you want.
Can you ult me back, Divios?
Ultimate.
Thor's backing.
Yeah.
Well, that's my target.
We don't need to ult you back, I don't think.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm pulling.
Could I go left and start fire, and then you guys all open a fire?
Go left and start fire.
What is this idiot doing? Get him.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, start fire.
Athena's there.
Nice job. Yeah, just go. Waste time.
Going.
I'm gonna chase Athena around.
They don't have ward on
Thor
their
wall. Yeah.
Starting it now?
I'm not gonna hog this.
Yeah, don't.
Cyclone's up. I have ice salt though.
You need to rotate now.
Subi, make sure you come to me. I can help you. I can help you all with ice salt.
What's that?
They're gonna know.
It's 50.
Athena's here. I'm gonna stun her.
I'm dropping ISO.
Pop it. Nice. Look, cyclone.
Watch out.
I got out.
Thor's in there.
Thor's ulting for you, Devios.
Oh, I got allied on me.
That's Thor ult.
Nice. Go for cyclone if you can.
Yep. Allied's coming in.
I
didn't get my ult off.
Allied's coming in.
Nice.
Thor's on Boosh. Thor's on Boosh.
Nice good. Help me on it.
I need help.
Do you have stun on him?
Yeah.
Nice
That's 2 minutes stun.
We need to back out, I think, Boosh.
Yeah. All right.
We just needed to pop Ice Soul earlier.
Yeah, you should
to
have popped
actually
it
do
earlier.
damage.
He's gonna taunt you soon.
Oh my god.
The
work.
Man, I guess that was throw. I don't know. My bad. I just got Baka ulted.
Doesn't matter.
Welcome back to the commentary desk, ladies and gentlemen, as AFK, they come back and they punish the greed of Team SoloMid. They went for both of the major map objectives, and it's a 5-man wipe. But 2 are going to be back up in the next 10 seconds. I don't think it's going to be in time to stop this tier 2 push.
No, they're going to get this, and God, do they need it. They lost the Gold Fury. They lost 3 people. They lost the Fire Giant, but then out of nowhere, right, they got this wipe.
One of the most important things there, though, is who got the kills. Xbalanque got 3 out of the those 4 kills. Yeah.
Oh, damage boy.
He is really close to late game form.
I mean, let's take a look at the build, right? Snoopy does have a decent amount of gold over him. In fact, that's a lot of where their gold lead is, 1,500 difference, but Allied put up an extra 20 damage. So there is just kind of like a small amount of crit in favor of Snoopy right now.
Isis topping the player damage charts here.
Boosh.
What a player. I mean, unbelievable. He did get caught out a little, overstaying his welcome, certainly in the last fight, but for Cyclone Spin, and I'm sorry, for Kiki's kind of signature god being the Isis, it seems to be much better suited for Boosh.
I think one of the most important things, just at least for the discussion that happened in that team fight, was you heard during the Gold Fury, pull, or I'm pulling, and that sounded like Boosh was from Texas. Right? I mean, like... They tell me Maryland. So, all right, Allied's ult go off there. I don't know. I mean, I guess that was just pure defense.
Maybe,
yeah. Tier 2
just to stall them, try to make some time for Bakasura to take this tier 1 on the right, I suppose.
And he'll get it.
Yeah, he'll get it.
This is going to be a huge rush here.
He might get a tier 2 as well. I mean, anything can happen. But, well, here we go. Incon, he's the one that they're going to focus their firing onto, knocking him up as well. The in-hands from Anhur coming through. There's the Desert Fury, and yes, the support picked off by TSM. Yeah, now at their leisure, they can... and there goes Allied as well. That's their carry. And Gars
blinks out. There's Cyclone, a little bit late to the party.
Yeah, I think Gars is ready to fight, though. I think he can go toe-to-toe with Baka, at least for the moment. Yeah, he can indeed.
Not enough work. Never mind. Geb
there
shield.
It is. Deicide. That's game.
Geb shield. Yeah, it was more than enough. You know, we were just talking about they weren't factoring in the Geb shield. They were so used to them just either dying in the fight or blowing them up quickly that when the Geb shield finally comes out, they're getting baited by it. They had a huge Deicide to, you know, kind of bring things back into it, but unfortunately AFK could not find it, and then TSM looking very strong once again.
I also think that's like the first Kali ultimate of the game.
Yeah,
Gars didn't really have to.
Yeah.
The problem there was Cyclone Spin was nowhere near them. He was out there split pushing right lane. What they should have done is cut their losses. Okay, Athena got cut out by the nice Iana Geb blink. Let him die. Let Cyclone Spin take his tower, come back, try to defend the Phoenix 4v5.
What was not to be. I mean, they just got picked off too quickly. Xbalanque dying there was really the nail in the coffin when that Isis ultimate exploded. Welcome back to the commentary desk, my friends, as we've drawn even now as TSM takes a game off AFK.
Yeah, I mean, both games were kind of the same fashion. It was kind of going back and forth a little while. There was a small lead, there was a big lead, there's small lead, big lead, right? But eventually it just went downhill, and that was it.
Right. It seems like TSM's a bit better at the squishy style, hyper carry style of play, and AFK's a bit better at that kind of tanky sort of meta.
Yeah, let's take a look at the first one, though. How did this one get started off? As I recall, it was a Thor ultimate at this mid.
This was a clean
fight. Yeah, this was a clean pick, but this was, you know.
Right there, though, I mean, I know we're supposed to be highlighting the first blood, but I think that was the issue is... And no offense to Weekend, you know, I love the guy to death, but he missed like every single ult.
It's true, he missed a lot of ults. He didn't seem comfortable with that Thor pick.
It definitely didn't seem to be to the quality of his Thanatos play, even though it's the same ability, question mark. But, you know, he's done better on other gods at least. Well, let's see what Jeff Hinla and the one and only Hinderman thought about that one. Guys, break it down for us.
Thank you very much, Bart, for handing it over to us at the analyst desk. Jeff joining alongside me today. TSM, take game 2. Lasses called it. How do you feel?
I think TSM can get through this. They played a great game last game.
Yeah, talk to your mic, because people can't necessarily hear you at home. Say it again.
I think TSM can do this. They played a great game last game. AFK is playing
they play a very good
though.
game. I mean, honestly, as that game went on throughout the game, they had Carly in the late game, Janus in the solo lane, which we've not really seen much of before.
We haven't seen a lot of it, but Devious loves this god, and he's been playing it for almost a year now.
Well, we nearly saw towards the end of that game as well that the Gold Fury into the Fire Giant call, the DS had AFK came back in. They had an opportunity in that one, but it wasn't to be enough for them.
This is true.
So looking at the actual the map chart, as you can see here, of the game, 4 for Thor and Gold Furies for TSM. Very, very controlling around those. And considering they didn't have like Devios on the front line, God that can like zone, which we saw in the earlier games, they did a very good job of controlling those.
They did a great job of controlling golds, and I think a lot of it had to do with Janus being the solo lane god. He was very mobile, and it was hard to keep up with those rotations.
So with that heat map there as well, you took out the mid Harpies as well. 8 of those mid Harpies, only 29% went to AFK. And with that early game, the very start of the game, AFK did get that first blood, and that's when we saw the mid Harpies go in their favor. But then after that, TSM started to dominate afterwards.
So when you have a later game comp or a later game carry such as Kali, and you're getting mid camps, that's exactly what you want to see. She's just getting further and further ahead, and I think that was really important.
So going into game 3 now, we're going to see TSM versus AFK again. If you're AFK, would you like first pick back again this time round, you expect?
I think you do.
Everyone seems to be favouring the first pick situation. You can see the AFK boys there on your screen at the moment. And talking about the players of the game there, AFK, TSM's Snoopy is going to be given the MVP for that game. How do you feel about that one?
I think Snoopy played lights out that game.
He did fantastically throughout the whole game for his team. Cyclone Spin, that's the first game that he's actually dropped there, but you can see on the screen there, this play is the ultimate came out from Ionic there, and Snoopy security kill leaping over the wall and looking for more with the support of his team, using those portals to the advantage. I believe he's going to find himself a double kill off this play here as well. So really nice from him, and once again, Ionic setting all this up for him. The unsung heroes, those supports, right, Jeff?
Always is. Ionic has great knockups, and the shields that game were on point.
They were on point indeed, and you can see his KDA in level 4, 2, and 9.
This was beautiful right here. That long range on her ult got the Athena even through the shell.
Those Desert Furies are very, very important to make sure you can be precise with them. You missed a lot of them. I know as a support player yourself, like you juke those out as best you can, but sometimes they're always going to be on. You can see the boys at TSM there seem a little bit more confident and a little more like relaxed after that second game. Like, okay, back to usual strategy now.
I like it. They're not super excited, but they're like, we're here, we can do this, and I like the way they're looking.
And it went well, very, very well for them. Now going into game 3, as I was saying now, do you expect, what result would you expect here?
I think TSM's going to pull it out, but I think it's going to be very similar. It's not going to be one-sided. I think we're going to have a really good game.
So game 3, you're going to go with TSM for this one.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a 1-1, boys. We're going to be heading back over to the Caster desk once again with Bot and friends to see how it's all going to go down.